be aware of what is going to happen inside 2021 and how these changes in trends in the online advertising and online business space are going to affect your business, they're going to affect your clients' businesses, and they're potentially going to affect all businesses. Now, in this video, I'm going to take you through 3 game-changing trends that have already started happening, that are going to continue to happen inside 2021, and are only going to accelerate, and how important it is for you to know about these trends, for you to change the behavior in your own business and maybe even in your clients' businesses, so that you can have a more happy, healthy, successful business, you can attract more customers, you can get better results. So in this video, I want to help you stay ahead of the trends that are to come in 2021 that you need to be aware of. Now, once I've talked about 3 of the most important ones that I've identified that I want to educate you on, I'm then going to introduce you to a method, a brand new method that essentially trumps all of the changes and uses the changes to actually catapult my business, your business, whoever business is going to use this strategy to give you the best results in 2021 with your paid advertising and customer acquisition. Now, if you like videos like this, you like being educated on online business, you like having new tools, tricks, and tips of how to get new customers into your own business or into your client's business, and you want to stay ahead of the trend, you want to stay ahead of your competition, you want to stay right at the forefront of innovation in online advertising, then I strongly recommend you smash the like button, hit subscribe, and get involved in the comments below this video. Please do feel free to ask me any questions that arise. Now, I'm going to go ahead and dive in and talk about 3 game-changing trends that you need to be aware of before introducing you to a brand new method that is absolutely crushing it for me, playing off the back of these trends that are happening. Now, this is something that is brand new that nobody else is doing literally in the world, because I'm at the forefront of finding solutions, unique solutions to problems, or solutions to unique problems that are arising because of this method. So if you want to run the most successful, profitable paid advertising campaigns in 2021, then you need to stick around until the end. But we're just going to dive in and talk about trend number 1. So trend number 1 is rising ad costs, right? Now, essentially what that means is that advertising, particularly, and we specifically really talk about on this channel, you know, digital ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, LinkedIn, etc. But particularly paid advertising, ad costs are rising. They have been for a while, you know, for the last sort of 5 or so years. Ad costs have risen pretty significantly. I want to throw statistics on it, but I'm not going to, because I'll probably be wrong. But, you know, just in my own experience, I've seen ad costs over the last 5 years or so of being in direct response advertising. Ad costs have risen significantly, 50, 100, 150% on where they were back then. Now, this is something that you need to be very aware of. Why? Because as ad costs rise, that means our cost per lead, right? It's going to cost more to get our advert in front of the same amount of people. That advert's still going to convert the same, regardless of how many people actually see it. So let's just say that, you know, on average, it costs $10 to get in front of 1,000 people. And out of those 1,000 people that see our ad, let's say on average, we get 2 leads, right? So we're looking at there $5 per lead. Now, let's just say that our ad costs have doubled, right? And that actually now it costs $20 to get in front of 1,000 people on your selected preferred ad platform. What does that mean? Well, we're still going to get in front of the same amount of people. We're still going to get the same amount of leads, but the problem is the cost per lead is now twice as much as it was before. And what that means is, as long as all of the statistics stay the same, conversion statistics of course, then our cost per acquisition, what it costs to actually acquire a new customer with paid advertising, is in theory going to double. Now, the problem is that most people are running their advertising on a 2 to 3x return on ad spend, i.e. for every $1 they spend on ads, they make back on average $3 of new customers. Now, the problem is when you're running ads that are only making a 2x or 3x return on ad spend, it doesn't take much rise in ad cost for those profit margins to typically deplete. So let's just say, you know, you're running an ad for your business, your client's business, whoever business it happens to be. And whereas typically let's say they make a 3x return on ad spend. So let's just take 1 month as an example. In month 1, we spend $1,000 and we make back $3,000. Pretty good, right? But let's take into account the margins, okay? So typically that business, it's going to have overheads, it's going to have costs, it's going to have service delivery costs, it's going to have ad spend, of course, as well. So from that £3,000 that we made, 1,000 of that has gone straight away because that's the ad spend, right? We're then left with another 2/3, $2,000. So let's just say costs associated outside of ad spend, costs associated with servicing these new customers in this month come to another $1,000, which means we're left with $1,000 profit, right? We're actually making a 3x return on ad spend, but we're only actually making $1,000 out of those $3,000 as profit, because the other $2,000 have gone already in costs. Now, all it takes is an increase in ad costs by 33%, roughly. Again, we're just throwing these numbers around loosely, for that advertising campaign and strategy that was working before to now not work and not be profitable, right? Or it's going to break even there or thereabouts. So it's super important that you stay up to date with the latest trends and the latest strategies and methods in digital advertising, because ad costs are rising. As ad costs rise, efficiency and effectiveness of our campaigns declines. Our cost per lead increases, our cost per acquisition increases, our profit decreases, and therefore it becomes harder and harder to run profitable ads if your typical strategy typically returns 2 or 3 times return on ad spend. So the first thing you need to be aware of is that ad costs are rising. And if you don't have a method or a mechanism that is brand new, up to speed, up to date in 2021, then essentially the same ads, the same things that you were doing may not be profitable by the end of 2021, okay? So that's number 1. Now, number 2 is online. A lot more businesses have now moved their businesses online, not just their marketing, which obviously creates an opportunity for people in the digital ad space, but also in their service delivery, right? Then now a lot of people and businesses and companies, because of lockdowns and restrictions and COVID-19 and all of this stuff, a lot of businesses are now forced to deliver, or have been forced to deliver, their services online throughout lockdown periods. And what that's caused is that's now caused people who were running, a physical company, a physical business, going and meeting clients, training clients, doing whatever it happens to be in person. They were now forced to move online, and a lot of them, quite to be expected, have gone, actually, this whole online thing is actually pretty cool, because it means, I don't have to get up early, I don't have to drive, I don't have fuel expenses, I don't have all of these things. Online personal trainers is a perfect example. How many online personal trainers are there now compared to 1, 2, 3 years ago, especially after the coronavirus pandemic? Because they had a choice. They could either take their business online and survive, or they could not take the business online and not survive and lose their business. So of this increase in activity in online business because of everything that's happened in 2020, then this surge and this increase in people taking their products and businesses and services online, of course, presents a lot of opportunity to people who are trained and skilled to help them take their business online and help their business thrive online. But it has meant that there needs to be some change in strategy, right? Because as we know, running ads for an in-person business as opposed to running ads to attract new customers to an online business is going to require 2 different approaches. So in my kind of expectation of what we're going to see in 2021 is that there will be an increase in demand and a rise in demand for advertising strategies for online businesses, because there'll be a lot more online businesses needing those services as they moved away from their physical delivery of their service, for example. Now, of course, with that comes opportunity, but it only really creates opportunity for those people who are willing and hungry enough to stay ahead and being aware of these trends that are coming out in 2021, and who are prepared to learn new things I'm going to introduce you to just after number 3, that is going to help you capitalize on all of these things and make sure that your business is as healthy and successful in 2021 as it possibly can be in the advertising space. Now, number 3, human touch. Now, what do I mean by this one? I mean, when it comes to taking somebody from being a cold prospect who doesn't know who you are, doesn't know, who your business is or your client's business is or whoever it is, they see an ad, for example, and we want to turn those people into customers, of course. But with what's happening over the last, few years, as things have digitalized and more people have moved online, more people have become coaches, more people have become consultants, more people have become, whatever it happens to be, there's become more competition, there's become more noise in the marketplace, there's become more people advertising, there's become more methods, more strategies, more tools, more tactics, more tricks. There's become lots more of these things. And what's happened because of all of this noise in the marketplace is people have become more aware. Now, if you've seen some of my previous videos, I'll talk about Eugene Schwartz, the 5 stages of market awareness in a different video. Freshen yourself up on that video if you haven't already seen it. Super important if you want to run any form of advertising profitably for your own business. But anyway, I digress. The human touch. Now, as people have become more aware, they're obviously hearing more noise, they're hearing more adverts, they're hearing more claims, they're hearing more people offer them things. There has naturally become less trust, right? There are, of course, people out there who are not necessarily good at what they do, but are good at pretending to be good at what they do. And unfortunately, this then therefore causes harm in people's trust because people are buying more things that aren't actually what they said they were or aren't really that good, like somebody said they were before. And therefore, it then, people get burnt. They then don't want to buy anything else moving forward. So number 3, and this is arguably the most important one before I move on to this brand new strategy that plays on all of these 3 trends, and this is why it works so well, is that people need hand-holding. Now, whereas before, when ad costs were lower, cost per clicks were lower, lead cost was lower, we could afford to have a funnel or a process or a strategy that didn't convert as well because our ad costs were relatively low. Now, because of rising ad costs, we need to make our funnel and our strategy as effective as possible. Now, how do we make it more effective? Bearing in mind that people are now less trusting, there's more noise going on in the marketplace. How do we effectively, essentially, bring more customers into our business with our digital advertising by applying more human touch? So in 2021, this is just going to become more and more and more important. So what this actually means is that the most effective way nowadays of turning a cold prospect into a paying client as quickly as possible, it actually requires, in my opinion, more human touch than it did before. Now, human touch could be anything from, having a conversation with somebody inside Facebook Messenger. It could be actually, delivering value on video inside a Facebook group. The human element is there. People need to feel connected with a company, with a business. And this is where having as many contact points, as many touch points, ideally by an actual real human, as opposed to automation or email or a bot or whatever, we want to have as much human touch there as possible. Now, if we look at the overall things here, we've got rising ad costs, we've got more businesses moving online and more businesses needing online advertising strategies. Again, note there, because there may need to be a change in your strategy, and more people needing hand-holding and needing a human touch to take them from being a prospect, turning them into a paying client. I have got something super cool that I'm going to introduce you to right now. This is brand new, something that I've only just recently started working on, and let's look. Called the full calendar formula. Now, as if you consumed any of my content before, as you'll know, over the last kind of year or so, I've been developing, refining, and perfecting a strategy that is literally 2 to 3 times more effective than running a standard ad to a landing page, to an email or phone number opt-in, to lead magnet. And I've actually created a full video on this, but this is a new method, a new system, and a new strategy that, again, I've used to generate 7 figures inside my own business over the last year or so, is the full calendar formula. Now, how the full calendar formula works is it's way more efficient from turning a prospect into a customer in the shortest amount of time, because it focuses on the human touch, right? There's a lot of automation in there, but there is human touch and hand-holding required in this process and in the strategy. Now, if you're looking for a way in your own business to stay ahead of the trends moving into 2021, where you're not going to be affected by a rise in ad costs because you're going to be making your advertising campaigns 2 to 3x more effective with the full calendar formula, a strategy that can be applied to any business, regardless of whether it's offline or online, still works super effectively, super efficiently, and incorporates having a high level of human touch, again, a lot of which is automated, but there is still some physical one-to-one human interaction there, then you need to learn about the full calendar formula. So what I've done is I'm going to link in the description below a video that's going to take you through how the full calendar formula works. Now, the full calendar formula is the new name that I've just come up with. So in this video, I may refer to it as something else, but essentially this is the most effective and efficient way that I personally have found in my years in the digital advertising space, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on ads and generating multiple 7 figures back. This is the most game-changing strategy that I personally have ever developed myself and have ever shared with the public or anybody else. So if you want to learn how you can run ads at a 5 to 8x return on ad spend rather than a 2 to 3x return on ad spend, how you can run ads into land clients and book strategy sessions with people who want to talk to you about your product or service, then I'm going to link you to a video that is basically titled something along the lines of the simple ad hack that doubled my return on ad spend from paid advertising. There'll be a link in the description. Check out that video. That's going to be all about how the full calendar formula actually works and how you can apply it to become one of the industry leading entrepreneurs using the full calendar formula to book out your calendar, get rid of that white space on your calendar, and have as many new prospects coming to you ready to talk to you about their service. If you want to learn how the full calendar formula works, click that link in the description. If you don't, that's cool. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please do hit the like, subscribe, and drop me a comment below. Hope you've enjoyed it. Happy New Year. Have a wicked one. I'll see you on the next one.